Chapter 1. Manhattan, New York City, Friday, August 11th, 12:01 a.m. Shh. When the whisper came out of the darkness, the man stopped. A vast panel of glass covered the wall before him, displaying uptown Manhattan in a scene that might have been sold as a poster. Ambient light and the soft glow from a dozen computer monitors was all that spared the room total darkness. The logo of Fisherman, Platt, and Cohen floated on each monitor. In the hallway, the steps faded. A moment later, her fingers touched his arm, pressing lightly against the soft skin on the inside of his wrist, her flesh much warmer than his. The thought of her so excited aroused him even more. She tugged, and he followed. "Over here," she whispered. He tried to make her out in the darkness, but all he could see was her form, shapeless as a burqa. They stopped, and she came into his arms, on him even before he realized she'd moved. Her scent was floral, her mouth wet and also warm, tasting of peppermint and her last cigarette. After a long moment, she pulled back. He heard the whisper of clothing across nylon, the slight sound of her skirt dropping to the carpet. He sensed, more than saw, her form stretch on the couch. He unbuckled his trousers and let them drop around his ankles. He remembered his suit jacket. As he removed it, her hand touched his erection through his undershorts. She tugged them lower, then encircled him with her fingers. Her grip eluded him, and as he entered her, a single computer screen sprang to life behind the groaning couple. Turning blue, it read, "Rebooting." After a few seconds, the screen flickered and read, "No operating system found." The screen turned black. British Airways, Flight 188, North Atlantic, 843 miles off Newfoundland, Friday, August 11, 12:01 a.m. The flight attendants were clearing breakfast in the passenger compartments as Captain Robert McIntyre scanned the dials of the PFD, the primary flight display, once again. Beside him, co-pilot Sean Jones sat facing dead forward in that semi-hypnotic posture, so common to commercial pilots on extended flights. The sound of the twin engines well behind the pilots was distant. Outside, air slipped past the airplane with a comforting hiss. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, with 289 passengers, all but flew itself. Once the airplane reached a cruising altitude of 37,000 feet, the pilots had little to do but monitor the instrumentation and be available should something go wrong. The airplane could take off, fly itself, and land without human assistance. It was state-of-the-art fly-by-wire technology, which meant the airplane had the latest in computers. The manual controls, such as the throttle and yoke, were not physically connected to anything, though they were programmed to give the feel that they were. Instead, they emitted electronic signals that moved the parts of the plane needed for control. Computers had even designed the plane itself. So convincing was the computer construct that the airplane was approved for commercial use and had gone straight to production without a prototype. McIntyre commented from time to time that the 787 was the most beautiful and well-behaved airplane he'd ever flown. "Any plans in New York?" he asked his co-pilot. Jones sat motionless for several long seconds. "Excuse me," he said finally. "Did you say something?" "Want some coffee? I think you're off somewhere." Jones yawned. "Nah, I'm all right. I get so bored, you know." McIntyre glanced at his wristwatch. They were still more than an hour out of New York City. "Better watch it. You'll be on record in another half hour." The cockpit voice recorder functioned on a half-hour loop, constantly recording 30 minutes at a time, again and again. Pilots had long learned to be utterly frank only when they were not within half an hour of approach or for the first half hour after takeoff. These were the times anything unusual occurred, if at all. Once in the air, the airplane was all but unstoppable. "I know, but thanks. Plans, you asked. Nothing much. How about you?" "Just a walk in the park, I think. I'm too old for the rest." "Right, tell it to your wife." Jones glanced back outside. "What's the altitude?" "Let's see, right at 37,000. Jesus, we're at 42,000 feet." McIntyre scanned the dials again, as if searching for an error. The airplane had climbed so gently neither of the men had